Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma playing on Hermitcraft, where the sun in the sky likes to freak out because, you know, mods are perfect, aren't they? Why can't they just add this mod to the game, they say about Mojang? Because of that. Because of that. Hero Blender, Chiwi Pepper, thanks for bananas in chat, letting me know that we're live. We start off today's stream by digging out a hole down here. And, oh wait, where are we here? We're at the bottom of the room. Kind of want to see the whole room. That's right. That's right. Using a schematic. Also, I've got my camera account on with flashback, just making sure that's going to be capturing what we're up to here. So yeah, I'm doing a mega project with Corrales. And I got to dig out this basement space for it. And it needs to get done. So I wanted to stream, wanted to work on Mace Race, but we've got to do this first. Welcome to the peeps tuning in. Hope you're having a good day and all that. So yeah, we're in the middle of just doing what needs to be done over here. And it's kind of awkward because that's the nature of working with a schematic, right? It can be awkward. And I think that means probably most of this here needs to go as well. So we'll do some of that. We'll do some of that too. MCC music is so good. Dang! Yeah, I was wondering who was going to be first on that. Some of those. First time playing it, I really enjoyed it when I played MCC. I got the soundtrack, and then, you know, didn't do anything with it. Are there blocks, like, at this level? I think there's supposed to be blocks somewhere around here at this level. So all of this got to go. All of this has got to go. Esney, well, the first noise in the air on the day of the stream, which is today. The day of the stream, you're the first noise in the eardrum. Congratulations on being noisy. I'm just saying words. They don't even make much sense, do they? I'm a professional streamer, people. I'm a professional streamer. Apparently. Yeah, thank you for 18 months. 2 Twitch babies, right? Math, 9 plus 9, all of that. Numbers. Ooh. Yeah, those numbers are getting big. You've been following my music blog for a while. Are you going to review Clancy by 21 Pilots? I think you have asked me. There is someone who keeps asking me to review that. Probably not. 21 Pilots have never caught my attention, I guess. Right, let's keep digging. That's all we got to do over here. Just keep up with the digging. The visuals on the screen are what they are, you know. They're a part of the game. No, I mean, they're technically not part of the game. They're literally not. They're mods, you know what I mean. They're part of the game we're playing, which is building all of this. Gonna need it to do that. Right, and I had at one point or another started to organize what I put into these boxes, and then I was just like, you know, just throw it all in there, organize it later. Right, so this bit here is like the top of a staircase, as you can see. Just want to clear out some blocks there. Come back down over here. So you've got a big wall, and this is like a big basement. So we're gonna try and clear this area out. And once I've done that, like most of this space is cleared, and then Corrales said he was gonna start on this project tomorrow. So I kind of want to surprise him with like, hey, look, I did that massive thing that needed doing, which is clearing out all the space for it. So yeah, that's why I'm gunning to get this done this evening. Right, and then there's the opposite wall. And then we let some light in. We let the light in. Ace Race is your favorite on the OST. I skipped to a couple of songs just before I started the stream, right? I was just like, ooh, is that song or something like that, you know? Just having a gander. And at one point, I'll stop mining these blocks and tell you what I'm going to tell you. Battle Box. Yeah, that was the one that sounded really cool to me. I was like, ooh, I remember this. Now some of you are going to tell me I never played Battle Box. I'm going to be like, oh, whatever. Somehow, I always manage to stream right before I start working on something, says Zero Tier. Well, my friend, there's one or two reasons, you know, behind why that is so. One is that I'm a part of the Illuminati and the New World Order, and we're here to, you know, try and fool you from achieving anything with your life. That's a very like logical, reasonable way to think about things. Or you could be someone who likes to do things, and you do things often. So much so that someone else like myself who streams and likes to stream often means we often clash. Maybe we're even in a similar time. I know what you're thinking. X, shut up, you wacko. You're not in the same time zone. You don't happen to just stream when someone else is busy. You're part. Don't try and hide it. You're a part of the New World Order. You know, it's all part of a big plan to put everyone in chains or something. X, do you like horror movies? I do. I haven't watched one in some time. Just because. I don't know. Confirmation bias. Who dat? Yeah, if you didn't pick up on it, I was trying to make a little bit of a point there, you know? Trying to let some of y'all... You know, maybe that rubs off on some other thinking. You're like, oh, you know the other thing that I think about? Maybe that's just a coincidence and not some grand, organized craziness. The Suminati, yeah, you know, XISUMA. Oh, that's 6. If you added 6 and then 6 again, you get the devil's number. Oh my god, confirmed. Confirmed, because I did numbers. Means it's true. Hey, guess what? We've been streaming for 7 minutes. I've got a hot cup of tea. Is there a membership for the New World Order? Don't know. But I do know that the Illuminati is a real group. Like, not like, oh, the conspiracy is real, but they were a group of conspirers that were known about in the past. So, like, that's always interesting to look up. And he listens to Heavy Mental, which is the devil's music. Yeah, I'm always listening to that Heavy Mental. Oh, you know. Heavy Mental, yeah! Because it's so mental. Dev, good to see you. 22 months. Thank you, my dude. Thank you. Almost 2 years, indeed. I'm doing all right. This pick ain't doing all right. It might break before long. These are some good tunes, aren't they? I'm in a good mood. This music's like bright and cheery, and I like it. I like it. Whew, that's some progress right there. That's some progress. Heavy Mental is the best type of music. I agree. I love Heavy Mental. I also like Hibbity Hop. Do I like South Park? I love South Park. I was raised on South Park. South Park is a very bright and intelligent show that masks its points through crude and crass humor. It's easy to watch it and just think it's like foul potty mouth. And it is. But there's always a rhyme and a reason behind it, which I love. Okay. Probably need to go up there and chop that bit from above, don't I? Which we will do. Just gonna drop off some supplies again. What's my favourite song currently? You know what? I enjoyed listening to Tupac's Are You Still Down record. When I was a kid and I first got into Tupac, I would have listened to that. I listened to all his stuff. Couldn't say I listened to all of it a lot. I found like the era of his which was my favorite pretty quickly and kind of stuck with it, which is his first 3 records. I'd say more so the second is probably like my favorite spot. That Are You Still Down? I didn't really remember anything about it. I went back and listened to it again, and it was like really clear that it was taken a lot of the materials from like my favorite era of his, and a lot of the songs were demos. I'd since listened to the original demos as well, so I recognize some of the tracks. And it makes it really clear that the album is like not a great album. It's more of just like getting something of his out, and those are the demos from that particular era. So it's interesting to listen to. But I found a couple of, you know, old songs that I really liked, and a couple of like new to my ears as well. So that was a pleasure to discover. Also, if you're a Tupac fan, and like me, you prefer him before like the Thug Life thing became a bit overblown, you know, All Eyes on Me. The album Thug Life under the name Thug Life is amazing. And also Still I Rise with the Outlaws, that's got some of his best stuff before that sound became quite dominant. Jonas Gaming says, "Hey X, do you like to chill?" I do not. I do not like relaxing and chilling out. I'm always on edge, you know. Like right now, I'm on a treadmill and there's a dog chasing me. Can't hear it because I've got some amazing soundproofing going on here, but you know, I'm really on edge right now because if I mess anything up here, the dog's gonna bite me. You know, like when I go swimming, it's always in a tank with a shark. Thanks for the music advice. Hey, you know, if you're a fan and it gets you listening to some of that stuff, that's awesome. On the Still I Rise album, the first 2 songs, Letter to the President and what's the second one called? The opening verses on both of those tracks are phenomenal. Whenever people bring up like best verses in hip hop, I never hear those 2 come up, and they absolutely blow my mind. The second one more so, I'd say. Just some absolutely insane lyrics. I don't want peace, I want problems, says Shinny. The sarcasm is real. Right, this pick's getting tired. I'm gonna have to switch it real soon. I was asking, do you like chili like the food, but okay? I read it as, do you like chill, but it's chili. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I cook with chilies. Yeah, I'm not big on like spicy all the way or, you know, crazy hot. But putting a bit of kick in your food is great. I got some spicy, I think they're called pimento stuffed olives to have in my salad tomorrow. I don't particularly go for a spicy salad, but I thought, why not? You know, why not today? And I couldn't think of a good reason. Well, when I say today, it's actually tomorrow, so that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean. That's tomorrow's food we're talking about here. AJL04, thank you so much for the 4 months. Appreciate it, my dude. I did not hear that again. Like, what is up with these sounds in my ears? They're just not working. Have I seen the horror movie Tourist Trap? I have not. Lately, I've been watching The Boys. That's been like my main bulk of... Oh, and I've been watching some Nathan For You for some comedic relief. That show is just astonishingly funny. Yeah, The Boys is a really interesting show. It's like a really it's like great but flawed. I just feel like if I were behind, which is always an easy thing to say, you know, oh, if I were in charge of this, like there would be so many things about it I would change. But I think at its core, there's a really interesting story there. I think just maybe the way they navigate it gets a little bit crass and crude and obnoxiously political, and also very gorish and whatnot. Like, it's a bit over the top, which is something I used to really go for, I think, when I was younger. And these days I prefer stuff to be a bit more subtle, I guess. So, yeah, but it's a really good show. It's a really good show. I'm enjoying it. Isn't the whole point of The Boys to be political, says Luke Crow? I don't think so, because the way it started, the first season doesn't really have any politics in it. And then there starts to be a few like subtle whiffs, but I like it when you do something political in a show, but you don't make it directly mirror reality. So, you know, I don't think it's a great idea to shove a particular idea like on the viewer. I think you can reveal the weaknesses of these ideas or ways of thinking through things that are similar that you put in your show. I never like it when it's force-fed. I mean, so, you know, never say never, right? Like, sometimes it can be done really well. I don't like it in this show, though. It's so blatant, bold, and like you have no doubts about the writer's intent with any of it. And I just think this show was almost perfect for doing it subtly through the superheroes, which there was a lot more of in the first season. And I think the moment it starts to change is when they unload the Nazi stuff on you, because that comes out of nowhere. There's no build up to that character arc, and there could have been. And it's really weird how Homelander accepts that and just cracks on, and it feels really like out of place. And then after that, like, they really lean into political stuff. And now I'm in the 4th season. It's gone from like the occasional line of dialogue to like very heavy-handedly inserting real life political tensions into the show. And what concerns me about handling things that way is just, this ain't gonna do anything but rile people up if you perceive yourself on one side of that equation. Like, there's no room for thought or dialogue or challenging ideas. It's just like flat out one direction. So I never like that heavy-handed sort of approach to that sort of thing. Well, this Xisuma says, no, if you saw my last video on that channel, you'll know that I will probably not put something like this on there again. This is just for streams now. I think when I make content over there, it's got to be really well thought out. I'm just, you know, like, I know that what I'm saying right now in my brain is, like, I can stand by what I say, but if I were to put that in a video, I would prefer to really, like, flesh that out so it can, like, reach, like, I can express what I'm saying better and therefore reach people correctly. Like, a lot of the time when I read clips that are done from the live streams, it's like I can see how, like, I haven't expressed myself well enough and people don't get what I'm saying. So I want to be able to, like, I'm good with people disagreeing with what I say. It's just I want to know that you, like, actually understood what I was getting at. Because then if you still disagree, it's like, fair enough, you've understood me, like, and hopefully I can understand you as well. But a lot of the time I read stuff and it's like, this didn't work. Like with the Mr. Beast thing, it was like I was more making an observation on, look, another character up the top falling down. And I read a really good comment on that video I liked. Someone said, like, one of the problems with rising to the top like Mr. Beast has, like, you know, fast and rapidly, is that you can make a lot of mistakes along the way and then try to sweep these things under the rug. And then you accumulate lots of those things and then it all unfolds in a moment, which is a really interesting observation, you know, with these kind of things. Also, on that whole stuff, I did take the time to, like, listen to these allegations and stuff against him, and to me it just feels like something that's like, okay, you can say all these things about how you were treated and you can proclaim, I mean, what was it? Some of it was saying it was a war crime. Like, you can proclaim these things, but this is where, to me, it's like, this needs to go to the legal system and not the court of public opinion. Like, get it through the legal system first. The comic is not trying to be subtle. I don't think Garth Ennis is capable of being subtle. Yeah, I don't. Of course, it's not. It's not trying to be subtle at all. The boys, not trying to be subtle in the slightest, is it? I'm saying I don't like that. Like, I think they could put the same messaging across by using parallels, but they don't. They like mirror reality instead. So it's like, who's that guy? Cameron something? That's Tucker Carlson, right? Like, and sometimes the movements just have the same name. Like, they bring up all the political movements by name. So there's no there's no subtlety to it, and I think you can do better with subtleties because people get very defensive. Like, if you sort of point at them and their identity and tell them they're wrong, whereas if you let them see it through someone else's eyes or for a different story, they might then relate it to their own experience and kind of then see the flaw of it. Like, people don't really respond well to being on the spot and being criticized, right? And that's kind of what I'd imagine watching that show, if you're of a certain political persuasion, would do to you. It's not going to make you come round, it's going to anger you and agitate. Did X explain the whole? Yep. You're seeing the insides of a project that I can't tell you what it is because of the nature of the project. It needs to be revealed at a moment in time with some thought and care, and then it's just going to be like this amazing project that goes beyond just us hermits, right? It's going to be something really, really awesome. I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be very community oriented, and then in order to do that correctly, I need to present it correctly. So therefore, I'm not going to tell you what it's about in a live stream, right? I have to wait until we're ready to launch it. So that's kind of where we're at with this. I feel like, am I making a mistake here? Like, there is more of this build. Yeah, there you go. So there's that there. Okay, if I follow that wall, I'll be much happier with ripping this stuff out, because then I know I'm not going off the track. I thought you were using a stone pickaxe. Yeah, I changed the texture on it slightly. It was just a stupid idea. I should have just used a diamond pick for a different texture, but yeah, early in the season I went a bit mad with the custom texture stuff. It's a superhero show, not an attempt to change anyone's mind, says Trow. Sure. But, like, to say that's a bit weird, because the whole thing is a parody of superheroes, right? Like, early on, its target is the superhero franchise model. And throughout the show, it constantly satirizes and pokes fun at it. But along the way, it gets very political as well. So I don't think, like, just downgrading it to a category and saying it doesn't mean anything is fair, because it's in the show, right? The creators have put that into the show. They've put their political leanings front and center. And I'm just saying, I don't think that's particularly helpful. I don't think that really, like, moves the needle in the right direction. What is this show? The Boys? Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, you know, there's loads of great stuff in that show. I really enjoy it. It felt like, at first it felt like such a great platform for critique of even political things, right? The way it was satirizing the superhero franchising and all that kind of stuff was really good, but like it kind of morphs into a much blunter instrument as the show goes on. I really like responded to that as well, because that's why I don't like the superhero stuff to begin with. It's just how franchise oriented it is, and that's very unappealing to me, to franchise something. What are the political leanings? I haven't watched the show. Very left oriented, very caught up in the whatever the topics are of the day, you know? Like, I find the political discourse to be rather unenlightening. And there's always just, you know, boogeymen to kind of throw your attention at, I guess. And it, you know, it's very much like on the nose with the latest things. I think the season 4 that I'm currently watching is like a year old, and it's, you know, it's just picking up all the big political things from a year ago, and no subtlety about it. It was true, getting stressed out by the music. That's like, this music is pleasant, man. I don't know. I'm not having that kind of association, fortunately. What's your thoughts on Deadpool then? He's quite different from other superheroes, but still franchised. I watched Deadpool and it wasn't my sense of humor. Like, I didn't find it funny, so I kind of picked up on there was some like poking fun at yourself moments in there, but it really, I don't know, didn't do it for me. The fact that it's political isn't really surprising. A lot of writing has political themes, like Animal Farm doesn't have the immediate political connotations when it was released. Well, it was banned back then. Yeah, it's not surprising. I'm just saying it's like heavy-handed approach. It's like bluntness. To me, is disappointing. I so much prefer those things when they're like subtle and artsy, and they let you think about it more for yourself rather than feed you the lines, right? And it's like the show's such a great platform to do that, because you can just use the characters in the show, the nature of the superheroes, to parallel things going on in the real world without giving them the same connotations and stuff, right? And then to me that's far more productive, because it lets people like explore those ideas through the show as opposed to being given the answer, which is what this does. It shows you sort of what side of the fence it's on. All art is political, honestly, says Wandering Mask. That's an interesting statement. I don't know if all art is political, right? I think I've heard that said somewhere else before as well. And I guess at some level, art has to interact with something that can also be political, but is Van Gogh's painting of a sunflower in a sunflower pot, is that political? I'm not trying to be condescending or anything like that. I'm just genuinely asking, is that political? Because it wouldn't strike me as such. Foofy says a lot of art is political and a considerable amount comes from left-wing politics. Yeah, there might be like a natural correlation to being more artsy if you're a left-leaning person. I mean, I'm definitely like a left-leaning person, but I'm also creative. Like, and I feel like it would be easy for me to pair those things together on that notion, but I don't know, just sort of speculating a bit. Gonna put down a few more concrete blocks to mark things out here and there. This also, I think this will help with Kralis a little bit. Like, if he starts building around here, he'll see things have clearly been pieced together correctly and stuff. Look at art movements. Surrealism has its root in left-wing politics from back in the day. Oh yeah, I don't doubt that they are. I'm not trying to say they don't. I'm just saying the statement that all art is political, to me, I could, like, surely an artist can paint without thinking politically, right? Like, the motivations behind, you know, a scenic painting of a landscape, can that not just be like inspired by natural beauty and you just want to express that? Like, seems a bit of a weird thing to say for all art. What happened to Kralis, says Flopper? I never like that question. It's like, it sometimes gets me worried. It's like, did something happen to them? Oh no, it's just one of those, you know, hey, I haven't seen Kralis in a while. He's fine, nothing's happened to him. That is all of that. That is all of that. Depends on how you define political, I guess. Yeah, there you go. And then that makes like it even trickier to answer because then you can move the goalposts. Are the paintings of Adolf Hitler political? I don't know. Like, I doubt. I've seen it, and I don't get the impression that he would be painting with politics in mind. But you could say the fact that he was once a painter then makes it political. But one thing I always remember about that I thought was really interesting was, and this might just be like a one-time thing. I don't know if multiple people said this, but an art critic who wasn't aware that Hitler painted was shown Hitler's paintings and said that they, something along the lines of like, this person is like lonely and doesn't really understand people and is disconnected from them, or something like to that extent. That like they saw in their artwork the way that they put people into it, as if the artist had like a disconnect from other people, like a lack of compassion or something. But like, you know, that's one artist. I don't know how many critics they showed it to, but I thought that was super interesting. Very interesting. You just joined and feel you've missed an important start to this conversation. Yeah, you probably missed. There's a fair bit of context to be had. I know this is a serious topic, but that's hilarious. Yeah, there's an element of comedy to it. There always is, even in dark things. But it's just fascinating that the art critic would think that. You know, without knowing who the artist was. Hey, Mother Thea! I heard that noise in my ear. Thank you ever so much for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I hope you're entertained today. You thought we were talking about The Boys, but then it was about political art. Well, we were talking about the politics in the show The Boys, right? So one thing leads to another, as you can imagine. Oh gosh, we're going to have a bit of a bother here, aren't we? And we got another noise in the ear. It's Gatsby TV. Uh-oh, we're going to struggle here. Thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Another one. 2 Primes coming in. Appreciate it, peeps. Thank you as always for supporting this channel. I hope you're entertained. We're going to be doing some Mace Race today. Going to be working on that game again. And digging this hole, you know, very important to do that. I mean, there's some psychological tests evaluated through drawings and art. There is a whole branch of psychology that studies unconscious expression in visual depictions people create. Ooh, that sounds deeply fascinating. Am I going to sell these to EFO? Sell what to EFO? Blamesian, thank you ever so much for tier 1 subscription. 22 months of support. Thank you, my dude. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. What is Mace Race? Oh, stick around and you'll find out. It is a race done with a mace, believe it or not. Sounds crazy, but it's true. The stones? We're on about all this stone that I've got in the boxes. Picasso also painted very political stuff of the Civil War and what happened during it, and there are other types of stuff. Yeah. I've studied a fair bit of art, and yeah, there's plenty of painters who were motivated by political things for sure. Just the statement "all," like it's the "all" bit that I'm like, all art is political. Depends on your definition of art, though. A friend of mine has a degree in art. It's like their passion, their life. And one thing they explained to me is that a lot of people think art is like paintings and expressing yourself by doing that. But there is another level to art, which is like art that is like pushing the boundaries of expression. And so like, you know, an average person picking up a pen and drawing something technically is an art. that like art and the stuff that is no longer at the cutting edge isn't art either. It sounds a bit pompous and stuff, but I could kind of like see their point, because language has this habit of like repurposing or sort of adapting. So like the thing he's trying to express is like, what is this cutting edge of expression often through, you know, canvas and paint and whatnot, and oils or whatever the medium is, but like, what is the cutting edge? What is the thing breaking the mold? And that is art, as opposed to something that anyone can do. What is art in your opinion, says Maddie. See, because I understand that definition of art, I kind of see it as sort of both, but it's really about language, right? Like if you want to say art through the means of like, what is the cutting edge thing that someone's doing that we haven't seen before, then that's what art, as I understand it, classically meant. But then it becomes, you know, people see art, they see paintings, and then art becomes, oh, I'm going to do a bit of art because I'm, you know, I've picked up a brush and I've got a canvas, I'm going to do some painting, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with either of those things. It's just there's like a definitional difference there that's been lost to just the general conception, I think. Here we go. I hate this point. It makes Pollock and his drip painting technique an art because he was an artist. But if you ask me, it's just some lines on a canvas. Oh, that's a shame. I really love Jackson Pollock's work. I get how it can just seem like noise, but like it's noise created by a human, and there's an idea behind it, which is like using your body motion to create that expression. I just thought it was fascinating, and I really like. I've seen some of his work, and I really like taking the time to look at it and just like seeing things in it. Because I don't look at art and think like I understand it. Like, I'm not going to look at that and go, I know what he was thinking. Don't even pretend. Like, I just know that if you stare and look at a painting, right, and then you go look at another one, and then you look at one over there, like, they're all different and they all make you feel and think different things, especially if you use your imagination a little bit and like, you know, what your reaction to the thing is perfectly valid, if that makes sense. Like, oh, have I not got any granite? I do have granite. So, you know, I've gone and looked at art, but I wouldn't profess that I'm, you know, I know what the artist was trying to express or anything like that, but I enjoyed looking at it and it made me think and feel some things, and that to me is what it's about. It's just getting something out of it. Right. I'm losing track a little bit because there's so much digging to do. We should get back to this area next, I think. Oh, I see. We've got like a double wall here. That makes sense. Is there actually, no, I'm still on the right track, I think. I'm just not sure. Is this actually a room here? Let's see how far back this bit goes. Yeah, you see, this bit's a room, so it must be. I thought I was getting close to something then, but no. Still got a ways to go. Hey, we've only been at this for 40 minutes. That has whizzed past, actually. 40 minutes has whizzed past there. I think it's just a bit different when you make an expression of art valid. Art is determined by who made it and not how it makes you react to a piece of art. I don't think I quite understood you there. Art is a pretentious term. Art is in an individual who perceives it. Nobody can tell you what is and isn't art. Yeah, but the whole field of art is trying to tell you that, isn't it? I can get how it seems pretentious, but there's also, I think, an element of validity to it, especially if you can kind of track influence and see how people's contributions to creative expression in that medium has like evolved. Like someone has to be the first person to come along and do something different, right? And then it catches on. Same thing with music, you know. All this talk about art makes you want to draw. Hey, pick up a pen and go. Do it. You should do that. That's good. Hey, this song's awesome. Is this Battle Box? Because this one caught my ear. It's absurd, absolute garbage, X. What's absurd? Dodgeball. Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, that's. Oh, it's coming back to me now. Yeah, it's the very final one, isn't it? So I love the tension the music's got, the way it like ramps up and then comes down again. It's really cool. How come you have to build underground? Just because of the nature of the terrain and the build we wanted to create, like the size of it meant that some of it's got to go underground. Ideally, it could have all gone above ground, but we want to make it like blend in to the surrounding area. Because Impulse has got his Cyber City, you know, you got that over there. We didn't want to build anything too above ground, just because of where it's located. Kind of want to preserve and add to the eye line rather than dominate it. The notion of art is absurd. I don't know why it's absurd. I mean, anything can be absurd if you want it to be, right? Like, the notion of it is our attempt to communicate with one another, ideas and things about the world, right? You should know you're an artist. Are you hearing yourself? Oh. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, look, I had one more shulker box. I'll place it down. You explicitly didn't go to art school because you always felt like the art school people aren't really open to other views. Now I will start my internship of paleontology as part of your bachelor's in biology next month. Oh, sad to hear that. That's unfortunate. Paleontology, isn't that the study of fossils? Or am I being a complete idiot? Probably being an idiot, that's what I am most of the time. Art is good when it makes people feel something, be it rage, joy, sadness, or whatever. Yeah, I'd agree with that. This is going to make for a very long time lapse, this area. But hey, it needed to be done. My art class is currently talking about what art really is and how there's levels to it, and I love that I joined in the stream as you're talking about this because it's really interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you caught what I said earlier, but I have a friend who has a bachelor's degree in art and kind of explained to me how it's, you know, art isn't just like, oh, I did a painting, you know, but it's like, it's common to use it that way in language, right? Yeah, I found it fascinating, and I learned a lot about art through them, and definitely gained a much more of an appreciation for it. Have you heard of the band Poor Man's Poison? I don't think I have. Molly says, is he an artist though? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess to like the point of like is what they're doing cutting edge? I wouldn't know. Probably not. But like in the sense of like how we commonly use language, yep. Someone who creates lots of cool stuff. What GCSEs did I pick? I don't even know, but I didn't turn up for most of them. Kids, stay in school. Don't be like X. I completely fluffed it. Joe says, I didn't turn up for any GCSEs either. Of course you didn't, Joe. Oh. What is it in America then? I know you have like the SATs, these big tests that they make a big deal out of. So GCSE is your like, what would be your leaving school vocations? Except the leaving school age when I was in school was 16. Now it's, so you used to have like something called sixth form, or you could go straight to college. And then after that you have university. And in America, like what they call college is our university. But yeah, you would have this, like you could sort of stay at your school, they called it sixth form, and do college-like education. And then they actually made that mandatory. You either had to stay in school at sixth form level or go to a college. So now in our country, you stay in school until you're 18. But GCSEs, I guess, where you're like, leave school and get a regular job type qualifications. And then if you wanted to get a better paying job, you would stick around, do college, do sixth form and get A levels. And then after that, you do degrees and stuff. We got a noise in the ear. It's Nova Transbian here for 2 months. Saying, hi, X, love your streams. I'm glad you enjoy them. Welcome. And thank you so much for 2 months of support. Dude, I really need that mod that moves chat up a little bit. I don't think we have any real equivalent here. Yeah, I'm sure there's like, obviously, I don't think there's something that's like the same. I guess, do you do your SATs when you're turning 18, like your last year of school? Because, I don't know, like, the way GCSEs are done is that you get a grade in a topic. So you can get like an A in English, an A in math, and then if you've got to go do a job that involves some English and math, then, you know, those, you understand, people are going to look at that and go, oh, you got this grade and that's good for this job or whatever. I don't really know how SATs work other than you get some sort of number and everyone stresses out about getting a good number. And then that determines the rest of your life, apparently, what college you can go to. I mean, if it's not clear, I'm sort of semi-satirizing watching American television as a European. This is my basic understanding of how it all works. It seems quite stressful. Right, that's how I'm going to get up and down around here. Ooh, I could do with some XP. Repair this pick. One of my goals is to complete mining this entire area without having to take a trip away for the time lapse. Although, I think the flashback mod that I'm using has a pause. So you can actually pause it, which I did not think about. Is possibly a really good little feature. Oof. There we go. That's a lot of that done, isn't it? That might be the last of it, really. I don't think I need to do too much else. Maybe this middle bit, maybe something around here isn't quite where it's supposed to be. Like, it's clearly a bit of garden. I think that under there might be another bit to go. Oh, look, that's actually concrete, is it? Oh, okay, that explains a lot. Ah, look, you can see the blocks now. Yeah, we'll get rid of all of it at this level then. So SATs are like UCAS points. I would not know if it's true. I would not know. Whoa! Easy, fella. Easy. That's my fortune pick. 54 left on that. Yeah, we come all the way down to this level. Oh, we've got a dono. Noise in the air. I'll read that in a second, my dude. I've got my eye on this thing. 69. I think I'm going to... Oh, wait. This is a little bit higher here. Yeah, that's actually where we're going to wrap it. So, a couple extra blocks here. We'll do the final bits without the replay thing running. So good. I'm trying to make a mental note to call it flashback. Okay, let's finish our recording. Save the replay. I mean, it calls itself a replay there. They should call it a flashback. Saving a flashback. Right, let's disconnect. And the last bit I'll just do off camera, essentially. Cool. Let's go. Drop some of these items off and repair our tools and then do the final bits and go over to Mace Race. Wandering Mask is here saying, thank you very much for the stream, sir. I really appreciate how much thought you put into things and always come away feeling like I've learned something. And of course, you're an excellent builder. Thank you for sharing your work with us. Very much appreciated. Appreciate the nice message. Glad you get something out of these little waffles. Thank you so much. By the way, the current building credit all goes to Corrales. He did an incredible job with this. I'm trying to press a button. It's that button there because I'm going to switch to standing. Why is Flashback, all one word, getting a channel mod flag? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Watching X's streams is always so calming for some reason. Probably because we got a calming mood here. We got an amazing community in the chat. And you know me, I'm not very hype, am I? Hey guys, today, oh my god, guess what we're going to do on the stream, man? We're going to talk really fast and crazy and go rah, 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 rah. Yeah, that's not me. That's me trying to sound like that guy. That guy is not me. That guy is not me. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I watched this video the other day. I brought a Steam Deck. I told this story the other day when I last streamed, but I'm getting a Steam Deck and I'm quite excited for it actually because it's basically a portable computer that will do a bunch of cool stuff that I need it to do. Because I've been thinking about getting a Raspberry Pi, but that wasn't quite right, you know. Strawberry Pi might have been better, but you know, they don't make those, so whatever. Whatever. I sent them a long email saying they should make a strawberry pie, but they never replied. Oh my god. So I found this video of someone talking about it, and it's like, hey guys, so like there's this volume slider over here for the Stream Deck. That's really cool. And if you go down the menu here, oh yeah, you can change the brightness of the stream. That's really cool. That's really cool. And they're telling you about all these features for the Steam Deck. You can run emulators on here. That's really cool. That's really cool. And it was like they would say a feature and just say that's really cool. Like like sometimes they would say it twice. And I watched like a fair bit of the video and I'm like, this guy, like, I don't want to be a crib, but this guy needs to work on his vocab. Let's get some articulation up in here, you know. Every commentator who, like myself, who listens to themselves like back when they're editing will probably hear those crutches. I've noticed lately I kind of lean to saying like and I think and those sort of like half measures for expressing something. It's kind of like that. And I get really annoyed with it. I'm like, man, you need to do a better job expressing yourself here. And I think every creator will probably listen back to themselves and hear that. But this dude, man, this dude was chill. This guy was just loving how really cool that thing is. And everything is just really cool. And it cracked me up. Oh, those filler words, they are my banes, says Turing. Yeah, I think in order to get around them, you need to like try and slow yourself down a lot. That was actually... Okay. I think I need to try the post-it method. I want to put a post-it on my monitor that says slow it down. And I need to remember that when I'm streaming because I have a little bit of a motor mouth. And it will help me when I record as well because I listen back to my recordings and I'm rushing through explaining one thing and then going on to the next. So yeah, that can be an issue. Molly says, I understand it though, I don't know how to speak out loud. Well, if there's no one around, give it a go. You said like twice in that statement, says Lucaro. I probably did, yeah. But they did. Oh my goodness me. What were some of the other things on the Steam Deck? It's got an OLED. It's got an OLED display. That's really cool. And you can change the brightness of the slider here. That's a really cool feature. It's just funny because like they listed off like 50 features, and every time it's like, oh, that's really cool. Even basic stuff, you know, like it's got a volume slider. I'm not getting excited about a volume slider. This guy was, because volume sliders are really cool. Love the look on the pics getting XP. It's like you're dancing. Oh, they don't bob up and down from this angle. Is that a bug? I think that should be a bug. Actually, I can't imagine what your arms would look like. Or maybe they would like slide up and down in your hands or something. I repeat things, but it's due to vocal stimming. Vocal stimming? Do you mean like a stammer? I got a tongue piercing a few days ago and now I can only talk really slow. It made me realize how rushed I speak normally. Interesting. Yeah, is it painful, I imagine? Does it make your voice sound different? Because your tongue is a big part of how you speak. Love the potion thing in the gaming district, says Any Notice. Oh, thanks. I was going to have to cut it in half and move everything over by one because I forgot the pufferfish potion. I didn't put it in the video because I felt like it started to get really distracting when I would talk about those things. I tried to keep that video very on point, and I think maybe towards the end I tired myself out a little bit. Like when I was reading some of the comments back, I would see people going like, oh, you know, flip-flop this, and I was like, yeah, towards the end I started falling back on those technical terms a bit too much, and I wanted to try and keep the explanation a bit cleaner, so it's hard to like pivot yourself to do something different and maintain it for that long. So it was a really good experiment to try and do that. But yeah, all in all it turned out good. I just decided not to include the pufferfish bit. Well, it turns out that the turtle helmet is a non-stackable item, so it's not compatible with my system. So because of that, I can replace that one with the pufferfish, which works out just fine. Right, let's go throw all of these over here. Usually I litter those as I make my way out of the end. Okay, chuck these in here. Do a little bit more digging, I guess. Get the last of these bits. Let's bring this down a little further. I kind of don't want to spoil. I want to spoil as little or as much. No, as little of the build as I can, basically. So we need to find out how far this goes here. Which is why I've sort of kept it down like this for a while. But, I mean, something's always going to get spoiled, right? It's not a spoiler, I can't see what's going on. It is a bit of a visual mess. It's probably clearer to me because I've seen the actual build, so I'll notice things about it. Like, oh, you see all of this here? This is supposed to be filled in. We can actually see, like, where to, I think. Unless... No, that is too tall, okay. Yes, there's like a big blotch of it here that is not visible. Yeah, we need an insane amount of white concrete for this project, by the way. Insane amount. I might go and place a few more lines before we leave this, actually. Right, so I think it comes up to there. Wow, and then all of that's going to be filled in? No, but then there's glass there. I don't know quite what's going on with that, actually. Let's leave that alone because it's kind of hard to tell. See, that all appears as stone in the schematic, so I think it's just this side over here. We'll focus on that. I've got a feeling Maybe that glass is like a hangover. Like sometimes when you use World Edit, you just end up with artifacts. Because it's telling me all of this right here is stone, right? So let's plop down here and focus on this bit. Get that taken care of. And then we'll go around and put a little bit more white concrete in so it's kind of obvious where things start and end. Oh, I like this. Is this Sands of Time right here? So a little exotic. Feels like it would match that theme. Sounds like Sands of Time to me. Got a zombie. Which we don't really want. It is Sands of Time, says Luke, right? Okay, cool. From Oxford Dictionary, stimming is the repetitive performance of certain physical movements or vocalizations, a form of behavior by persons with autism or the neurodevelopment condition. Self-stimulation. This behavior is thought to serve a variety of functions such as calming and expression of feelings. Stimming was a part of a coping mechanism. Fascinating. Fascinating. I think I get that. Just look at the bottom F-Lex, says Penelope Sky. You do realise that what you're seeing is not what I'm seeing, right? You know how that works, don't you? I can't see what you're seeing. We're literally not seeing the same thing. I'm seeing the game. Right, except that bit there kind of is. Yeah, I really like kind of like putting some of these lines down. As I've said. Wait, this is not two-way, says Red Eye? What do you mean by two-way? Yeah, it looks like there's a streak of white concrete here. Leading up to there. Actually, I don't know if that is or isn't. Right, let's get these walls drawn out. X, you mean you can't see into my living room? Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it. Or to be fair, you can't see into mine, so, you know, there's that. Did I turned it off, didn't I? No, I took it down a level. Because up there... Oh, I see what's going on. There's like a middle bit to be sorted. I have more of this. I have more. Ah, I fell down. Right. A little bit more over here to dig away. Don't have to do every single block, of course. Okay, I think that one and that one. I think I might leave it here, actually. Whoops. Rightio. What is it that you're making? It looks massive. It is massive, but it's top secret. It's one of those... Ain't ready to tell you what it is yet, dealios. And I kind of want to throw down some white concrete in spots just to make it really clear, like what's what. I don't think I need to dig anything else out after that. That's kind of it. I think I might just leave it there actually. We go work on Mace Race now. But yeah, you can kind of see the scale of it, right? Let's do a little bit more trim around the bottom for the white concrete, and then call it that. I can see the Ibanez RG-DIX7 MPBX. I don't think I actually have that guitar, but it sounds like you went to my website and ripped the name of it. But I don't think that's actually one of them. The white concrete looks dark compared to the schematic. Yeah, the schematic makes it look very bright with the way it renders. Dude, this music's great. I'm loving this. The MCC soundtrack is awesome. It sounds like a guitar I also have, an Ibanez RG line. How did Stone just get on my hotbar? Yeah, a lot of the RGs have names like that. FPS Puzzle says, how's it going? It's going good, thanks for asking. Actually not sure if I got this bit right or not, really. Does it come out as far as here? Apparently it does. And that's all... No, that's stone there, isn't it? Yeah, so nice little outline there. Put this wall in. God, that is ridiculous to look at. Reaper of Digging! Thank you so much for using the Prime on me. Appreciate it, my dude. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the support. Have I heard of Ice 9 Kills? I have, but I haven't gotten into them. Listened to them, but it didn't really drag me in. How many more of these we've got? Quite a few. I don't think I'm going to use them all. Yeah, I think that might do me. We'll put this here as well. So now we've got a wicked view of everything that's going on. Ho ho ho! Let's get up in the sky here. Whoa! So much stuff. So much stuff. Super cool. I see someone flying! I see. I can't get away from me. Right, we're going to have to start sorting out some of these boxes, which is going to drive me mad, isn't it? Every time we sort one out, we put it into our inventory. Also, I think I might literally need one more. Let's see how we get along with this. Right, I want to leave behind all of that white concrete, you see. So Corrales can come over here and be like, oh, X has got all the white concrete together, that's good. Hey, back to the beginning of the soundtrack. And then we get to pick that box up, don't we? Hey X, just want to let you know that you inspire me every day. I always remember when you talk about the importance of being healthy. Eat well and do exercise. Also, I love your videos and streams, says Bell Angel. Hey, love to hear it. I'm glad you're inspired, and yeah, it is important to be healthy and exercise and stuff. That all means a lot to me. Also means a lot to me when I hear that other people value it too and do all of that. I'd like to think that helps me be a positive influence. But yeah, I lived a healthy lifestyle today. What did I do? Cycle first thing in the morning. Woke up at 6:30. Got out on those country roads. Loved it. It was rained. It rained a lot yesterday, so I was kind of fearing it'd be like really wet. But a lot of it had dried up, and it was a sunny morning. It was cold, but You know, it's August, so it was like not as cold as it will get. It will get cold to the point where I'll give it up and I'll be like, summer's over, no more of that. Oh, do you know what? I reckon the occasional andesite stack could easily sneak past me. That might make a really good vanilla tweak, is like a less discreet, you know, like spot the andesite. Could call it that. Call it spot the andesite. Yeah, there's another one. Okay, now we'll take out the dirt. Were we trying to fill up a dirt one somewhere? I felt like we were.
Have no fear. Cub is now here.
Dear Lord, Cub! What the heck was that? Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Cub, I demand. I'm gonna kick him if he doesn't. He's re-logging. I'm gonna make you log back in.
Have no fear. Cub is now here.
Oh my god, that's insane. Dude. Cub has figured out some crazy tech. I hope Cub doesn't have any connectivity issues. That could get annoying. Just having to relog a lot. It happens sometimes, right? It's the internet. It's the internet. Every now and then I have like quirkiness for logging in. I've had it lately on the creative server actually. No, not the creative server, my Redstone server. Every time I log in, it like doesn't log in the first time, but it does the second attempt. So if I then log out, leave it like 5 minutes and try and log back in, it happens again. It's really odd. It's like, why are you doing this? Oh, the organization, it never ends. Almost there with that one. That one's done. Found you a new home, and you're complete. Right, another one. Nah, not quite complete actually. Oh, I thought there was one of them with less numbers. Pearl's in the chat, apparently. Or which chat? This chat? That chat? Apparently Pearl's in the chat. I missed it because I've been staring at shulker boxes. Going slightly mad, trying to organise them. I kind of running out of like knowing. Here we go, like this. You want one like that, so you can focus on getting all of that together now. This is for our storage system, by the way. Yes, it's automated. Yes, I still have to do some manual stuff. If I don't do this, there's so much of this stuff that it will need to run for way too long. So if I take the time to switch around the bulk materials, the storage system is definitely more efficient. Which is, I mean, possibly a downside, but like, how would you avoid that? If that's a question you can answer, you might just have a genius idea on your hands. I still think there might be like room to do something different with the way we store items in this game through like redstone mechanics, just because I noticed like a lot of it interacts with like your air quotes workflow, like how you work with the items and stuff, and if you can kind of change your behavior a little bit, you can get a lot of gains. Like if I had come over here with a bunch of pre-labeled boxes for each different thing that we got here, like I might be spending a lot less time doing this, for example, and then we get towards that end result of sorting all the items out like nice and swiftly. Apparently hermits aren't allowed to lurk in other people's streams. They're allowed to lurk in mine if they want to. I don't mind. Jeez, what I'm going to say. You can't watch my stream. I might play on a server with you, but no, that's going too far. Right, let's grab some cobble. Got one that's almost filling up here. Grass and dirt can come out of that, as can the regular stone. Okay, dirt, grass, regular stone we're after. So as you can see, there's probably a grass box in the making. Where are we going to find the room? Yeah, I think this one right here will be the grass box. Still trying to find that extra bit of cobble. Granite can go back in, so that one's dirt, right? Yep, now dirt's full. This is almost like a mini game. If inventory management was your thing, you'd probably enjoy this. Oh my god, this is too much. Okay, let's go back to these ones. Oh my god, there's this over here as well. Right, I'm pretty sure we had one that needed filling up with stone. And did we have one that needed the cobble? Right, there's your stone. Okay, we've got an empty one here, I'll put cobble in. Ah, that'll be the one. It's the last of the grass. It's the last of the stone. Right. I think we kind of got it now. That's not full, but I'll take that. And then this one here is almost empty, so chuck those bits into here if we can. Right, one that's almost full up with grass. That one will stay here. Alright, I'm kind of done, I think. One flower. Any room for it? There we go. All of that needs to get sorted too. Right. Wow, that is an unbelievably full inventory. Okay, now I can give you my attention back, chat, somewhat. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Sorry I had to put up with all of that. Aprova's favourite pastime is inventory management. Aprova, you gotta go to the doctor, my dude. I'm telling you. You got a fever or something. Dang, this music's a jam. Oh! I'm actually full up of oh, interesting, interesting. Wow. Okay. Did not expect that to happen. Right, those three are dirt, which are right next door. Oh my god, dirt's going to fill up as well soon. Right, everything else is for this. Look at all this junk that needs sorting out. Oh, it's crazy. It's going to take a minute, you see. Even though I've been organised about it. Right, so I need some other sort of like bulk storage. Speaking of which, actually, these will just probably go around here. They'll probably never get used. Oh no, we did away with that, didn't we? What was it? We put them here? Yeah, this is where all of our excess bulk items go, so I'm going to chuck some cobble in there. Since we already got a solution for that. Whew, right, where are we going to next, chat? Can you tell me? Do you know? It rhymes with that game from MCC. Oh, I've got to go. Actually, I've got to go back and drop off these. Pick up my shulkerbox stuff. One of these shovels is just an extra one, so we'll do that. I don't think I need to bring anything other than myself. Ace Race? No, not that MCC minigame, the other one. Okay, let's drop in over here. Woo. Guilt Cart. Meltdown. I'm messing with you. It's definitely Mace Race. Okay, those are mine. That is mine. These things left behind, Corrales can make use of, like the concrete and stuff. Oh, such a cool project, man! It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be amazing. Oh, let's go over here now. Let's actually go in the right direction. I was gonna go to the shopping area. Sometimes when I just fly, I just naturally head in that direction, you know. Just naturally go over there. Scarface? Do you think Scar likes Scarface? I don't think Scar's into Scarface. I'm not into Scarface actually. I've seen it. It was like, it's a huge fascination in rap music with that movie. I just never got that big into it. The Rat Race. No, it's Mace Race. Skiz calls Scar Scarface, but I'm sure that wasn't it. I'm betting Scar hasn't watched it since April. Oh, you reminded me of something else I was going to mention about The Boys. Like, the goriness is so over the top. Now, in the past, I've kind of liked things like Evil Dead and stuff, where the gore is, like, ridiculous and over the top. In The Boys, though, it's just constantly jarring. It just constantly feels like it just comes out of nowhere and slaps you in the face with some disgusting, bloody mess every so often. And usually I watch that show when I'm eating, and I'm always like, oh, please stop. Right, we're actually going to design the next little bit of this. Something that I was struggling with last time we streamed on camera on this project, but now that I've thought through my ideas and I've got the picture of it in my head, I think we're going to do a far better job. Vegeta says, X watch The Boys. Yeah, this whole stream, the beginning of it, I was waffling about The Boys for ages, and it's very blunt politicalness. But there's other aspects to that show. It's not the only thing it's about, is it? One of the things it likes to do is just put some obscene gore in front of you quite often. I think if I were younger, I'd love that show more, because I was really into all of that stuff when I was young. But as I've gotten older, I prefer things to be more subtle, I think, and not like hit you over the head. Like, hey, look how over the top of this is, you know? It's the first few times though, that like someone's head would explode or something, like it really shocked me. I'd be sitting there going, oh. Not believing what's going on. But like now I'm just like slowly just being desensitized to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, a whole room of people just blew up and their guts spread all over the place. That's, yeah, I'm used to that by now. Got it. I know what's going on here. Right, so we start off with our usual standard 2-block bearing. That sounded so cool. That sounded so technical. I just made it up. We have our 2 blocks of stairs to begin with. Here they are. So this is the player's way to get back up after they fail miserably, and we laugh at them. Nah, we wouldn't do that. So we're going to have a run and jump, but it's going to turn into one of those like slowly heading upwards courses, like we've already done. Just another average The Boys moment, says Stephen Place. It becomes like that because they use it so much. Martin Pedder says, I really enjoyed the first season. Second was fine. Well, but it feels like it's just one trick now. Yeah, I can see your point. I totally see your point. I feel like the Butcher character is sort of just becoming, in season 4, just a constant cycle of the same idea. Just, it's really like hammering it at you over and over again, to the point where its twist kind of lands a bit flat, because it's like you're kind of like, well, of course. If you know the twist that I'm referring to, it's like you'll see that coming pretty quickly, because they've just been hitting you over the head with it. with his character arc. Poster Nerd, thank you so much for 30 months, my dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a good time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we were doing it this way with them on the post before, right? We're going to abandon that. We're going to say goodbye, sucker. We're going to hurt his feelings. That thing. I might hold on to that, actually. I should definitely have one of these in my inventory when I'm setting this up, right? Oh, yeah, got to shift it. No grabs. No grabs, bruv. No grabs. Oh, we're so cool. Look at us. Now, I've done this thing with lines all the way up to here. Maybe what I could have done is actually... I might come back and revise the amount of these we have in a line. Like, maybe the ones in the middle are missing. Just to make it, like, step up its difficulty a tiny bit. Oh, look, we got some missing blocks here. And I know they'll put these back. But then here, I think what we originally did is go for, like, one in the middle. We might stick to that. We might make it 3 in a row. I'm not sure. But it's not something we have to worry about from the beginning due to how we've built this whole thing. So, you're going to jump on that. Now, if I run and jump, I can kind of get over it to about there. So the next one has to be higher up. Now, when we go up here, we've done it with stairs before. I think I'm going to skip the stairs here. We're going to do this. We're going to go up 2 blocks like that to the next one. And then we want this to get steeper and steeper pretty quick. So like a good solid jump here. And then you're like on top of that one. So I think we could probably put one right in the middle there. And then make it maybe about going up 3 blocks. But then we have to time the one after so you can't get any further along. Just like that. Oh, I'm out of blocks. My Ibanez is an RG120 and I have a PV Blazer 158 amp. Any thoughts, says Sebi? Not really. I'm not a tech head. I just like playing guitar. I mean, but if you brought up some tech that I'm familiar with, I might have an opinion on it. I had a Marshall amp for a long time. Then I had a small Marshall amp to begin with. Then when I got my first job, I got a bigger Marshall amp. And I had that one for like 20 years or something. And then I recently replaced it with a Spark, which is very convenient for experimenting with tones in a sort of like don't have to buy pedals way. I can also plug it into my computer to record, which is fantastic. The other day I had a little bit of fun just like jamming along to one of these like demo-y tracks that I've got and seeing if I could throw some guitars in. And where I've recorded guitar in the past, it would just sound a bit naff, whereas with this amp you could plug it straight in and it kind of sounds the same as you're hearing it, which was great. Yeah, I'm not much of a tech head when it comes to guitars and stuff like that. Aprover Frenchie, says Vegeta. Do you mean Frenchie the character? What are we talking about? Where's Aprover's message? I don't even see Aprover's message. Oh my god. Where is it? Chat does not show me enough stuff, does it? Yeah, I don't blame you. It's old gear from my first guitar teacher who doesn't play electric anymore. I see. Yeah, like, I couldn't really tell you the difference between different amps. I'm aware of like some classic amps and cabinets are like sought after because of certain guitar tones on a record, for example, but I couldn't even tell you what they are. I do actually have a bunch of amp sim models on my computer, which are really cool for modeling those amps. Whoa! Oh, wings! How are those elbows, X, says Penelope? It's weird, they're getting stronger, but like the one that wasn't as bad as the other one is kind of like not coming along for the ride, you know? Still feeling a bit awkward. Dude, that's gonna work great. I think we're gonna go up 4 blocks next. I don't want the player taking full damage when they head back down is one issue here. But I think one thing we might do is just give the whole game like regen beacons. So that's now up by 4, right? Oh, I was supposed to go a little higher than that. Well, not higher. I was supposed to do a little bit more than that, is what I was going to say. Have I watched The Walking Dead? Yep. Love those movies. Seen all of them, basically. Although, maybe if George Romero did any newer ones, like in the last 10 years, I probably haven't seen them. Because they were like these old classics that I adored. And then, right around the time that I found them, a few years later, he kind of like came back and started doing more of them, which is just awesome. I'm just wondering, we've gone from like 5 to 3. Do we need to make it narrower? Like, what if we put this one here at half a block forward? Okay, that's wrong. Okay, so that direction. And then have the wall like come forward by 1. So now it's 2 blocks. Then we can make like the conclusion here really tight. I think The Walking Dead is different from Day of Dead movies. Oh my god, yeah. No, The Walking Dead's that terrible TV show, right? That's one of the things that made me check out all the whole zombie stuff. It was just, no, I didn't like that show. Got that wrong, didn't I? So if that's like 2, then I feel like this one should be 1 maybe. So maybe this came a little too quick. Maybe we should have put 4, like go 5, 4, 3, because then there's some like math behind it, right? So yeah, okay, let's put the math behind it. Let's do this proper, so we get a really good shaped curve. Oh, I need more of these then, don't I? Hey, it's Matt Sabu, the one, the only, 68 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Very much appreciated as always. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for supporting the channel. Dude, are we like running out of these blocks? We very much are, but I do have a big stash of them somewhere. I guess I'll have to go grab those, because we're about to run out right now. I would like to actually finish the concept here of this curve, because we're kind of close to the numbers we need. So we're going to go do that. So this one's going to go back half a block. So we go 2, 2 and 5. Now part of me is wondering if it should be 1 and 5. Then we're going to have, is that up by 3? 2 and Thor, 1, 2, 3, yeah, so then it'll come back 3, I think. So about there. Does the slime block feel good with the mace? Not really. That might be a good idea for us later to use a bit of bounce. Imagine that you jump off of the mace attack and you bounce on a slime block. It's kind of like a lesser version of just using the mace attack again. So this game has constantly like struggled with that kind of stuff for me, where you try and add things to it and it just doesn't really gel. Might seem like it should, but it don't. Oh yeah, the reason the first one should be like 2 up is because otherwise the player can walk over it, which probably wouldn't give them advantage. Okay, so this one needs to go like 1.5, I think, without the minus. So now it's in the middle of that block. Good. So that's 2 and 4. Okay, so now it's 4 and 2. 2. So that's 3. We need to go 1 block higher. Oh, which is that block there, maybe? 1, 2, 3, Thor. It is. And then it's 4 and 2. And then the ending here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe just a row of these blocks. There. So let's get a feel for that. This one has to come back, I think, 1 block, maybe 1.5. Now that's in the middle of that. Yeah, okay, so that looks like a really good distribution. Let's see. Oh, that's a bit of a poor start as well. But if we hold down forward, oh, it ends up being like pretty easy. You go quite high. I think I'm going to add an extra block at the end here. Maybe even that much. Let's try that. You love that I always wear my minister hat. I like it too. It's so cool, right? It's so dope. Oh, that was lame. Yeah, this is just holding down forward basically and getting all the way up. But it is the beginning of the game still. Let's say that. So we'll come back to the idea of having multiple targets to hit later on. Right now we need to go pick up some more of those blocks. But actually I can take a moment here just to do this and add in all the bells and whistles on the side, which are not a lot. There's not a lot of bells and whistles here. It's going to be like this. And you can probably point out that you could maybe use the side for an unfair advantage. I don't think hermits are going to play the game like that, right? So we won't worry about that, but yeah, you could like fling yourself out of the arena if you really wanted to. That's fine. Ain't bothered about that. When this is mirrored on the opposite side, we're going to like build some terrain between the two areas, and that could be for spectators possibly, so it's going to look good. It's going to look good. And it's much easier to build now because we've not got the roof on it. Hey X, I've sent you a video for a silverfish bee trap on Twitter last Friday. Have you seen it? I did see it. I thought it was cool. And then I kind of kept reading other tweets. I don't know if I wanted to use that. It's kind of genius though. Let me make a note because that was kind of genius. If I think on the idea and ruminate on it more, I might come up with a way in which I want to use it. But that was kind of genius. I'll make a note after the stream, a proper one. Whoops. Oh, I just deleted it. Well done. Dude, this music is dope. I didn't know Negan was based on Henry Rollins. Who's Negan? You say Henry Rollins? I'm interested. Because it's time. Because it's time to shine. It's hero time. Walking Dead bad guy. Oh, right, okay. Got ya. Are the hermits going to be able to play this? Absolutely, absolutely. I want the hermits to come and play this for sure. I had just a bit of a horrid time getting this game going, but I'm really happy that I have now solidified what it's going to be in my mind. Because look at how much easier it is to create a course like this than the one on the other side. So let me run it through for you. We have the tutorial bit, which is like your first jump. Okay, once you get up there, now you got to chain 2, then you got to chain 3, then you got to do an upwards bit, right? We're now going to drop down, and how far we drop down is going to be interesting. I might want to plan out the next area, but we're going to do the same thing again, except it's going to be advanced, right? We're going to have these lanes, make it a little more advanced. Then we're going to add a corner challenge where you go up and twist around the corner to drop in to the lane that brings you back. And it too is going to have one section, an upwards bit, and then another section to finish. Did any of the hermits test it? Says Julia. Yeah, Scar's come over here and played it. Cub fan has too. Oh, wait a minute. Do we put those at the back? Yeah, we're putting those at the back now. So this is literally what the next bit is going to look like. Now, that being said, this is a drop down. And we want the player to drop down into water. So I think what I might do is have like a hole somewhere here. And then you drop down into it. But we need to get more of these blocks. So I'm not going to rush into it. I'm going to go grab those blocks. It looks really good, X, says Olivia. Thank you. Thank you. Right, we're heading over this way. I'm not going to charge anyone to play it, no. You love Mace Race? It looks like so much fun already. It is a lot of fun to just keep bouncing off of those things. I think what would really make it pop would be moving targets, but it's not really possible without data pack stuff, you know, to move the armor stands, which is really sad. Because that's the ultimate level maker of this game, I think, is having moving targets to like pop off of. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't need to enter this way. I mean, maybe I was just drawn to the amazing build that this is. It's just like, oh, I've got to go in and see that. Whoa! Oh dear. Somewhere around the back here. I eventually need to come and tidy this up a little bit. Well, it's clearly not here. But somewhere around the back here, there it is. Secret stash time. Yeah, I'm going to take that box. And that one. Can you push armor stands on ISO hoppers? Nah, it don't work because you got no gravity on the armor stands. Isn't Tango able to move armor stands? Probably, but it doesn't work in our game. Can you put a mob with a lot of armor into a minecart to have it move? Yeah, you know what? You might be able to bop off on an allay, but then what happens if you miss and you hit the minecart, right? I mean, maybe you could have a Ravager and hit it with splash potions, but at that point it becomes a bit wild. Actually, you know what? That actually sounds... You know, Etho's Frogger game kind of sounds a little bit more doable if you think about it like that. Like, if you had a massive stash of regen potions, every time you activated the game, you could hit them with some regen, because they're going to get hit. And then Sod's Law, it wouldn't be enough, because someone's in there for ages and they die, and then you have to restock it. But let's not pretend that's, you know, let's not pretend worst possible outcome here. What if we did away with this floor partially, like the middle bit, so that you could fall straight into the drop? And then maybe we can use some copper grates here. That could actually look really... That could look great. Ha 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 ha! So funny, so clever. How did you think of that, X? Bam! Straight into the hole. I think that'd be really satisfying. I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be dope. How many other words can I throw at it? Okay, let's go get some grates. Some great grates. Make a little catchment area. Great joke. Thanks, April. Oh, God, you did it too. Oh, my God. We're like a comedic pair, you and me. Oh, my God. Touring the world soon. Okay. Oh, I wonder if doing this with the weathered ones might make it pop a little more. Wait, have I gone too high or not low enough or something? The old thing here is just like, obviously you can land on it, but like, are you going to do that? Probably not. Like, the idea is these are boundaries for the player to acknowledge. Because you could jump straight over into the next lane, right? Over there. You could just go, whoop, I'm on the other side. You can do what I just did. You can bounce off the wall. That's not allowed. Yeah, now you're well and truly... I don't think we need that bit, but it might look cool. So I think that's going to work really well. And then you're just going to drop down here now. This is where I think using a different block might be cool. You'll have the weathered on the back side of you. That's for sure. Let's go in here and do that. And then we need more of this type. Oh, I never brought my honeybee over here, did I? Honeybee? Say the right words, X. You're streaming. I never brought my wax over here. Honeycomb. Is it wax or is it honey? It's honeycomb. What am I saying? Jeez. We could jump a little lower. for this next bit. And really, I don't think there's any reason to or to not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That didn't work. Is someone gonna sleep on this? Oh, wait, someone did sleep. Thanks. Thanks, mysterious person. Armadillo, says Molly the Spy. That's interesting. Armadillo curls up. You'd have to be sprinting or have a zombie to constantly scare it nearby. I think, you know, once the game's done, if I want to come back to the idea, we have like thought of a few ideas to explore, but right now I've got the concept of the game from start to end in mind, so I'm going to stick with it. It's kind of wild that we're building these out of copper blocks. Okay, so the previous track was of that height, and the fact that the terrain does slope down a little bit, it's not the same on the other side. There'll be some digging over there, but you know, we can come a little lower. Basically, there probably is no point to actually coming lower, right? Will I bounce off a warden at some point? I don't like doing those gamble with death stunts. I'm a bit averse to doing things like that in this game. I don't know why. Like, I see other players get all curious and go do little challenges and stuff, and it's never just been something I gravitate towards. I think I just look for different things in this game, right? That's why you probably don't see me doing challenges and stuff like that. It's just because my brain's just tuned into different things. Do we have like a water pool out here? We really should have one. Let's be honest, Scar would do it. Of course Scar would do it, yeah. Scar would love to do it. I kind of missed the Xisuma went to sleep, sweet dreams message in the chat. Yeah, that'll hopefully come back at some point. Oh, do you know where there's water? Like, there. Forgot about that, whoops. Yeah, so down at this level, we could put them on half slabs. We could put them on slabby jabs, right? That is a thing that we could do. There are my slabby jabs. I need exactly 6, so I'm going to have to make more. That being said, it's possible that one might traverse out of here incorrectly. So if that's like the landing area, if we expand it in one block in each direction, it might just work a little better. It was Pearl and Tango, wasn't it? Says Molly. What was Pearl and Tango? I should really get a shovel. Isn't this the bit where like all the chickens are in the middle and you're waiting to pick your game? I love the vibe. I got to check out this musician's work, because the way they've handled the MCC soundtrack, it's got like a real nice character to it. This is Dodgebolt again. Oh yeah, it's Dodgebolt. Yeah, Dodgebolt. That's right. We had established that prior, hadn't we? Now, one thing about this is that you're going to want to come out of the water, and then you don't want anything above your head, so that's to be considered. Right, that should do exactly that. Good, good, good. So now you land here, make your way out. I think what I want to do is change this a little bit. Not sure quite how yet. Maybe have them as slabs. Or just like that. Don't think the actual size of it matters that much. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Right, these ones here would also be our other type of block, wouldn't they? Oh no! Wonder how far that water will get. Oh wait, are we doing those? Are we doing those at the front? Yeah. No, not there though. I'll have to swap that around on that one. You always see them in front of you as you get to the end. So that means it wouldn't actually be here, would it? This is now just a platform for you to jump off of, so it'd be like 3 blocks of space is good. And this is where the new lane starts. Let's go back to the beginning and change that. I want to change it. I don't want to forget about it. Ah! Went too far. I want to try an escape room in Minecraft now. I imagine it'd be rather fun, says Marshmallow Guardian. Cleo made one in a previous season. I'm trying to think. I've honestly, I think it's season 6 that Cleo made that escape room, which is just mad if it's true. I think it's in the second half of the season with the pillager update. I think it's from that bit of the game. So yeah, you would see that here and not on the opposite side is our normal. Yeah, of course you would. Ah, road! I so should have made it through that gap. This is like the you've won the game music. Isn't it? Yeah. It's the Walk of Fame. Major makes a lot of casual ones on his channel too. A lot of casual whats. Okay, so we would do our usual thing of like straight into this. You got the step up to get back up. Need my shovel now, don't I? Need a shovel. Oh, Mace Race is looking good. This music has invigorated me. So you got that. So you come down here. On we go. Technically, if I wanted to, let me go look at it again. I could actually put those blocks there because they're always at the front, right? So it's like you're starting a new bit. So here you go. Have some of those blocks, which to me it's just like a subtle visual cue more than anything. Kind of like you're going in this direction, you keep seeing it. You know, nothing crazy. Quite simple. Yeah, and then it would come good like this. And you'd start the next bit. So the question is like, what are we going to do with this? I'm going to go refer to my notes because I did actually make notes. And I just can't remember what I wrote, which is why I wrote them in case I forgot. So that, you know, that's clever. Okay, so I was thinking of having left to right jumping go next. Not quite sure what that looks like yet. Let's build a section. This is probably going to be quite flat. Oh, we're out of those blocks. One of the things about this course dropping down low here is that later on, like a sense of climbing up more might quite be some fun. So I'm thinking a relatively flat section here. We could make it go downwards a little bit if we want to take advantage of the terrain. I think we should mess around with that idea, but let's say it's left to right, and let's just get the feel for that first jump. Like, I'm not going to get over there, I don't think. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe we'll put the first one like here. Is that diagonal? So then the next one be there. Put a few more in as well. And then maybe we make it go down by one each time. But for now, we'll just do a little bit more of this. Dude, Mace Race is going to be insane when it's finished. It's going to take up so much space. Okay, and then we do this. Because we care. Because we care. I don't think I want them to be single targets, so I've got to remember to test this with them doubled up. Doxy22, thank you for using the Amazon Prime on me for 4 months. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel and peeps. You can where's the zoom? You can indeed use your Amazon Prime to subscribe and support if you wish to do so. I'll thank you in advance. UX, a room full of iron golems is an obstinate? Do I have an iron farm? Obstacle, do you mean? Again, I don't want the player ever dying, and an iron golem can wreck you pretty quick. Like, players are going to come in here. I could tell them to wear armor, but mainly it's going to be wear feather falling boots is the minimum requirement. So, a iron golem will wreck you. Multimeter Madness. Thank you for using the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Helps support the channel, so thank you. And I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Just about hit it. It's kind of useless, though, because you're so far behind. I possibly said too soon. Let's do that another. Oh, you can just about shimmy it to your advantage. So we might have to put a mild adjustment on that. Cool, that was interesting. Okay, let's do that again. Woo! And then you're doing them twice. Interesting. It might be worth not focusing on that that long shot, because if you land it, you kind of have to take 2. Like, even if you get to that next one, now you're stuck here until you move again. So it might be that having a rhythm is better than going for those long shots. Like, I'm going to try to continuously hold down forward, and it only seems to take me so far. Yeah, I reckon adding like 2 on each side now would be the next thing to do. Possibly like putting one here. Maybe not. We'll just stick to that. That'll do. That will do. Let's try that. Oh, I did not get a good start. See, now you're very incentivized just to take the middle, so the outside bit becomes a little less relevant. So maybe if we space these out a bit more, that might work. But I think adding the downwards bit as well would be kind of cool, especially considering every time you jump up, there's like a, you know, a view into the distance. You might not really take that in because you're focusing on this, but it's there. So yeah, I reckon we space them out a little further, and each time you go down by, yeah, it goes down by 1 or something. Could you make the middle ones small stands? I'd not thought of doing that. I'd not thought of making smaller targets. That is honestly probably a pretty good way to increase the difficulty. There was something I was looking for, a little spice later on. I'm writing smaller armor stands because I think that could be on the list. But yeah, when we kick this up again, that's the big thing that we got to do, is the downwardsness, which is a true and tried technical term that makes so much sense. Add a little downwardness, space it out a bit, and I'm pretty sure we'll get something good out of this. That goes in there. These things go into here. That goes up there. Project boxes. We got them. And let's put these things away. should really rename this thing to my backpack. That's basically what it's been all season. Right, who else is online? Impulse and Tango. Let's click that button. Oh, neither of them are streaming. Neither of them are streaming. I'll send you over to Hypno today. Hypno's playing some Vault Hunters solo by the looks of it. So if that tickles your fancy, you know. But yeah, I probably will be streaming Shapes tomorrow. It would probably be my last stream on it. Apparently Impulse has had a tough week. How so? Let me know in chat. I know I'm wrapping it up, Skittles, but I'll look out for your message. That's the end of my stream today. Only doing 2 hours. I'm going to take the rest of the evening off because I've been grinding Minecraft all day. I've been digging holes. You've seen what I've been up to. And then tomorrow I plan on doing a Shape stream. So hopefully all will go to plan and we can do that together. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to go raid Hypno now. Have a great rest of your day and take care of yourselves.